Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and this is Supercoach Pro. Today we're doing a quick Supercoach team round 14 review and a little bit of a round 15 preview. I know we've already had a game. StreamYard wouldn't let me record this week because I've limited my hours have reached to 20 hours, so you only get capped at that many hours. So yeah, per month. So look, we scored a 2156 for those who want to know. I've been getting actually a fair few DMs and especially on Twitter saying, "Are you going to do a video this week?" So thought I'd pop out a quick one while it's finally reset because today is June 20th. I do got a live score from last night's game, and oh my gosh, Dogger killed us. And it's annoying to watch that. I sort of muted the chat about hearing on Jacko because I couldn't afford him, and there's always one player that's going to go huge to hurt you. So it's made me keep Max Gorn because there's a lot of people that have Jackson that won't have Gorn. So hopefully Gorn can pull some 180s and then we'll be laughing. But this week we won't be. All in all, though, last night's squad did pretty well. VC'd Brayshaw, though, which was a definite miss. Brayshaw probably could have cashed in on this game, but do a quick review on the actual side and then get into the game a little bit, but not too much because I'm a little bit annoyed that Vincentini did a good job, but yeah, Jacko just kicked like 2 or 3 goals or whatever, so yeah, there was always going to be a lot of points for him. Probably didn't expect him to go 186, but yeah, it's whatever. You can't win them all. Ranking's probably going to shoot down a little bit potentially, but the side all in all was doing pretty well. 2156 last week, ranked 79 this week. Don't know what to expect out of this week and next week out of the buyers. I'm not a real fan of the buyers because I've upgraded a little bit earlier. Best 18 means people are going to have 18 primos anyway, so kind of the buyers really hindered the sides that actually haven't upgraded, in my opinion. So I think it's the buyers make things a lot more even for sides that probably shouldn't be there if it was best 22. I don't care if you think that's a little bit salty, but that's just the genuine take on that. So we all got the side last week, so we'll take this off to Supercoach Plus and we can go quickly cap it. So we did decently, like Sinclair 109, Dale 129. It's probably what we expected when we bought in Dale with the Marvel run. Clark 96 last week. This week he goes 119, so he probably is underscaled in a lot of games, but I'm not going to tag champion data like some people do in those sort of posts. They're pretty cringy when people do that. Zorko 123. He's been good without being great, but people traded him out as well. Him and Merritt, probably Merritt's more of a concern in that line, the midfield line, than a Zorko pick, I think. Roberts and Mills, I don't know what to expect this week. I could trade Mills, put Rosie down back and grab Butters this week, but Jordan Tech throws me off, and I'd rather wait a week to turn Clark and Roberts into Bonds and McCarthy down back, because that's what I was trying to get a little bit more cash out of Clark, which is kind of annoying because he only went to 65, so there's no point even bringing in McCarthy this week to loop, because that was kind of the plan. So yeah, Roberts named. Lloyd's dropped, which is interesting. Hopefully Roberts keeps his halfback flank position, kickouts. Lloyd has taken very minimal kickouts, mind you, so he probably won't get a huge spike score here. Blakey's a bit of a pig when it comes to it. Mills named halfback, but then was named wing, so I'm a little bit confused here. Probably gets CBAs. So I think he's a good enough player to still average 90s no matter where he plays. Like, his scoring history is quite decent, regardless of injury. Like, we've seen Nick Dacos regress this year because of his foot, so and he's going to get a tag, so maybe that's my sideways Merritt to Dacos after this windy tag in a couple of weeks. Who knows? They might be at the same price that I can jump off Merritt. Merritt's actually quite annoying now. I was thinking about considering keeping him, but it's not even that he's a bad player. It's just the role's not there. Some weeks you just flip a coin with Scott, and that's where he ends up going, is either into the fields or a little bit of CBAs. It's probably my worst primo that I've traded in this week. In my side this year, not this week. So Brayshaw failed 130. Green light matchup for Essendon mids. I thought Brayshaw would go nuts, but it was actually Sarong that capitalised. In the wet makes sense with Sarong's contested possessions. Sarong just kicked it a lot more too. He didn't actually handball over the top to Brayshaw, who was in front of him, whatnot. A lot of the time, just booted it to Tracy, whatever. So we're captaining Richards as a bit of a pod pickup. I probably think he can go a very good score, like a similar to Jacko, I think. I know it's a bit of outlandish call, but I've seen how Richards plays, so I'm going to straight see him now. Pretty confident in that. I would have gone Cherry, but the Pito TDK factor might wear out Cherry a little bit, so might only be capped at a 130. Hewitt, probably a little bit too handball heavy for me to consider Hewitt. He might go 130, but it also could go 110. So I think I'll just send it for Richards. He's been the best player in the competition, to be fair, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, see how that backline transitions to scoring points. Not too sure. All in all, side looks pretty solid. Cheryl have kept all year. Can't complain about a starting pick at 450, whatever it was, similar to the Will Ashcroft pick that we didn't start. Hewitt, a good pod to start bringing in last week over Butters, but still considering Butters this week, believe it or not, even though Jordan Tag's there. But I think I'll wait a week on Bonds. So scored 127, which is kind of what I expected, given the matchup that he had in West Coast. Pretty awful side. And then, Rosie, 117, pretty decent, finally, scoring some nice scores again. And then She's 115, Cardwell 111. But I'll just take you back to last night's game. Like, I know Dogger went nuts, but Clark still went at 119 for me. Caldwell, we bought in 3 or 4 weeks ago now, 125. We bought him for a basement of 429. He's been fantastic. People ask me, are you going to get rid of him? But clearly not. Like, he's almost one of my better mids, unfortunately. He's better than Merritt because at least the role's there for Caldwell. Who else in this game played for me? I suppose, Clark, Johnson and whatnot, they're not applicable to this side because I could have looped their scores if I needed to, but by bringing in McCarthy early, but definitely not worth bringing in for a 65 this week unless someone got a poor injury. But I think I've got 20 players playing this week, so it's fine. And then where were we with this side? I think we'll go back to it. She's a 115 over the weekend. And then, Cherry didn't score anything in that last quarter. We know that now. DeConning 123 would have been underwhelming. So I actually picked the right captain that week for the 130 for Brayshaw last week. Obviously, it was better than the DeConning and Gawn pick that everyone thought would be better option than Brayshaw. But trusted my gut this week. My gut let me down in Brayshaw. And then, Baz 114. Surprised he got up. 68 for Truck. I feel like he got tagged that game. I can't remember now. It feels like a lifetime ago. Warner's back this week. Yay for a 60. And then Bolton, again, doing Bolton things, a bit of a concern. Just played so much time forward last night as well. And he could have had a few goals that went against him because he actually got the ball taken off him by being an idiot and thinking he's faster than everybody else, which is quite common for Bolton. We only bought him in, mind you, because he's 423 and we thought we could flip him, but clearly we won't be able to now with the limited trades. We'll probably always have 6 trades going out this week anyway. Just give us one more week to sit on our hands and reassess with the trades we can make. I'm in a good position despite last night's game. And Daniel, 80, he's fine. Like for an F6, there's so many other poor scoring forward-line players. Unless you've got, McRae, Horne-Francis and all these other guys, you're probably lacking elsewhere, I think. But a lot of teams, surprisingly, aren't even complete anyway. And they're calling it complete by having, I don't know, a Johnson in flex. I don't know. Or McCarthy in flex, if you want to call that complete. But I don't really know what to expect from McCarthy scoring. Maybe I can whip him and Mills at D6. Pretty uncertain about that. And then, Rankin, who knows what's going to happen with Rankin at any given moment. Like he's on a bye because he looks like he needs a bit of a rest. And Gawn I'm going to have to keep just because I think he's going to be a good captain back in the season from round 19 onwards. I don't think people will be able to afford to get him back in. I reckon there'll be a few more, carnage trades people are going to have to use. Bench is looking okay. Day Wicks is obviously not okay, but hopefully if I have a load out, TDK or whatever, one of these ruck flex position covers that load out in the forward line, maybe a Baz Smith, something happens there. Who knows? But all in all, side looks pretty strong, I'd say. A lot of pods actually this season, which I'm pretty happy with. I don't know if you can call Clark a pod anymore, but Richards is pretty much a pod. Chera's semi-pod. Hewitt's definitely a pod. Cardwell's definitely a pod. We haven't been vanilla this year, so it's been nice to actually go into a side where you're not seeing the same side every week to everybody else. out there on Twitter and whatever else. It's been a solid season so far. Probably feel like I might always a little bit of progression this week just with people VCing Jacko, but it's whatever now. So see how we go. We've got 6 trades and 43k left in the bank. I decided all in all was pretty good. Probably just seem a little bit ungrateful at this point in this position just because of sometimes one game can actually really make you annoyed and make you overthink your trades going further. So you just got to let it sink in, and it's happened now. And one player probably won't ruin you. I mean, I've gone without the season without Whitfield. I've gone the season without Dacos. I've gone the season without a few other big dogs like I didn't bring in Bonds a few weeks ago. Guys that you thought were going to destroy you haven't, because you need a whole team to actually get a nice weekly score all in all, not just a few good players and then having no F5 or F6 or having, no M7 or M8 potentially. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I just wanted to do a quick one because I hadn't been on this for a while, and I just got a resubscription from StreamYard now. So give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching again. Give us a like and subscribe for this. So catch you on the next. Cheers. Thanks.